Hey guys, Holly J here, aka Planet Ginger, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Today we're going to be taking my beautiful bookshelves here and doing a little unhauling, cleaning thing with them. I do kind of like how my bookshelves look right now. They are pretty aesthetic, and I'm not going to be changing everything with them, but I do definitely want to do a good unhaul. I have went and hunted down all of my old Pixie Hollow books. Look at how many I have. I mean, I was a big Pixie Hollow fan when I was young. And then that inspired me to find some of my other old books. My Secret Unicorn series, this used to be my favorite series when I was young, so I would like to display these on my bookshelf if possible. And then also, I found a couple of other books that I would like to put up here. Parable of the Sower, I read this in college and I actually really enjoyed this book. Not that I really care about displaying this book that much, but I would like to have it on my bookshelf because I actually did enjoy this read. And just a little picture book I enjoyed when I was younger. Tales of the Cryptids. I loved this book. Me and my friends were like obsessed with reading this book. Every single time we'd go to the library, we would hunt this book down and just look at all the photos of all these different cryptids and like read the different stories of them and stuff. We were just obsessed. So this book is a little nostalgic for me, so I'd like to put it somewhere on my bookshelf. In order to make room for these little old nostalgic things, this needs to be taken care of. We're gonna go shelf by shelf, I think is gonna be the easiest way to tackle this. Just see what we want to get rid of, see what we don't really care about, see what's smashing, see what's not, and yeah, there will be probably a lot of books that I will be okay to get rid of. Lately with my reading, I have been trying to read things on the Kindle before I purchase them, just to kind of like save money and not just be buying all these books and then I don't even know if I am gonna enjoy them. There's some books that I have purchased that I did end up reading them and I just didn't really vibe with them and I think I'm gonna get rid of. So without further ado, let's just dive in to the unhauling and the reorganization of my bookshelves. I'm probably not going to do much with this shelf. It's kind of how I want it. My Throne of Glass shelf, definitely not going to mess with any of this. It just all kind of flows really well. And then up top here, I think what I'm actually going to do to fit the Pixie Hollow books, maybe move Peter Pan over here to this shelf and have this whole section be Pixie Hollow and Peter Pan, because those Pixie Hollow books, like I said, there's a lot of them, and I also want to get Wings of Starlight and the next book that's going to be coming out, which I think is maybe Wings of Reverie, but I do want to add those two books to the mix. And I just have a growing collection of like Disney / Peter Pan books in general, so that's kind of my plan there. My Twilight shelf I don't really see myself doing much with, and same with my Harry Potter shelf. I kind of see those staying the same because they're kind of good as they are, and I'm obviously not getting rid of anything there. My top shelf up here, again, I just don't see much movement happening here. This is gonna need adjusting in the future because Elsie Silver is coming out with a new series, which I'll probably end up reading. I am kind of just liking this whole like cowboy romance section up here. Eventually, I think I'm gonna have to move her like old editions down elsewhere, maybe down on my bottom shelf just to hide them, not get rid of them, but just hide them for now, and then display these a little bit better because I'm hoping to read more cowboy romances in the future. I think the movement is going to be more in my bottom shelves, to be quite honest with you. I am gonna probably start off by trying to move around this Peter Pan shelf just to start off, because I think that I have a good idea of where I want that to go in my head, so I think that we can definitely start off there. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling with this a little bit. I feel like I'm not totally sold on the way this is looking so far. It's looking a bit cluttered and a bit, I don't know, like unorganized, I guess. Let me drop you guys down. This is kind of like my Disney shelf right now. I like these books and they are technically fairy tale retellings. They're kind of just like smutty books. So I don't necessarily think I want to display these with my Disney shelf. Oh, I do have Alice in Wonderland. So here's another thing that I have to think about. I really like this and I want to display it, and I kind of want to put it with my Peter Pan books up top. So I also have this nice edition of Phantom of the Opera, which is essentially the same binding. So see, I could have like a classics and Disney shelf up there because I would like to collect more of the classics. And I do have the Odyssey right underneath, so that would make more sense if that was kind of like my classics and Disney shelf. I wouldn't mind putting these up there, but like these, I would need to find a different area for them to go, I think is where I'm at. These books by Emily McIntyre, I actually think I'm gonna unhaul, but I think I want to keep Hooked just because, I don't know, I didn't mind this one, and it's Peter Pan, you know? Even though it wasn't a favorite of mine, I think I do want to keep this one. And then maybe Twisted. I'm kind of conflicted about the way that the Pixie Hollow books are looking with the Peter Pan books. I feel like they're not looking the way I was intending them to look, which we still have to add Wings of Starlight and then the next book, whatever the heck that one's called. But those do have to be added to the mix. I don't know if that's going to throw off the vibe. So let's go back up top. I feel like this isn't that bad. I feel like this looks better than the ladder. We could even pull this up more because these shelves kind of sink back a bit. What do we think? I feel like that looks good. We're gonna have to do some rearranging once we get Wings of Starlight, but right now it's fitting like pretty perfect in there. I really can't have anything wider than this because of the bottom Peter Pan book, but right now I think I'm liking this. I think what I'm gonna do over here is keep this very Disney-esque. So I think I'm gonna move those Disney retellings up here, minus the smutty ones. I think I'm gonna keep the smutty ones down at the bottom. This is like one of my favorite Funko Pops. This is like the ride Peter Pan at Disney, so that's why I wanted on my Disney shelf. Maybe I'll switch these. Maybe I'll put these over. Let's try that. I'm so tired. I'm so tired from helping mommy all day. But yeah, he's working really hard. He's a big help. I'm not entirely opposed to that. I could just throw it right here. I'm not opposed to that. I think that's how it's gonna be for now. So we're gonna move on to this shelf. That's where you guys know a little more. I like collecting hardcovers better because they're just more durable. I like the feel of a hardcover. Don't get me wrong, I like the floppiness of paperback. I get more nervous that like something's gonna happen to them. So I am kind of tempted to get rid of these two books. because I don't want to duplicate. The only reason why I'm okay to duplicate, for example, like with these ones over here, these Elsie Silver books, is because I actually cannot buy these copies anymore. But I kind of want this all to be hardcover. I ended up buying Six Scorched Roses because I actually really enjoyed this book. It's funny because this is actually a novella for The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I actually did not enjoy The Serpent and the Wings of Night, but I really enjoyed this novella. So I was like, I want to buy this book. Grove Hollow. I really did enjoy this book. Shelby Nicole McFadden, which I don't know exactly what name she's going by now. So she self-published this and I read it and I really enjoyed it. I think this got picked up by a publishing house and she might be re-releasing this and then she's coming out with a new book, I think. So I'm gonna keep this up here. We have like a little section here of like paperbacks. We could put East, Hooked, Twisted, Bride all in this section. So maybe I'll move Grove Hollow with all the other hardcovers. Okay, that's good for now. Honestly, I think with the Zodiac Academy books, I might just put our little smutty friends with it because why not? Yeah. I think that's good. I'm gonna just put these little classics that I don't know what to do with. I'm just gonna throw them right there for now until I kind of get a better setup going right here. And then let's move to the bottom shelf. So I'm gonna have a lot of unhauling books down here. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I am gonna unhaul this. I have had this on my TBR for literally so long and I have heard such mixed reviews about this series that I don't think I'm ever gonna make that plunge, and if I do, oh well, I might regret getting rid of this book one day, but for right now I just think there's a lot of other fantasy books that I would like to read way before this one and I'm gonna unhaul it. This is another book that I kind of hate unhauling, and actually this is an old copy of her book too, I think. I do want to read this series one day because she also wrote, oh my gosh, what's that other book? Oh my gosh, I'll put it on the screen because I can't think of it now. She wrote another series and I do want to read that series. Apparently they all intertwine all the series together, but I think for now I'm going to unhaul it because it's not going to be in the near future. Autumn's Tithe, kind of the same thing. This is by Hannah Parker. This is a beautiful book, a beautiful copy of the book, and I really hope that it gets into the hands of somebody who can really enjoy it. When I originally bought these books, I was just such a different reader, and now I have a totally different taste and totally different reading structure, and I just don't know if those books entirely fit it anymore. Again, I might regret this too. I might read this one day and be like, oh my gosh, why did I get rid of that book, blah blah. If I read this series, I'm gonna read it on my Kindle first, see if I like it. If I do end up liking it, I'll just buy a boxed set. Like, the whole cyborg thing sounds a little weird to me and I don't know if I'd be into that. I was really excited to read this when it came out because I had been following Stacy online for like a while. I mean, like, look at this cover. It's just beautiful. Like, I love this cover so much. I'm gonna keep this one because I do eventually want to read this and I have plans to read it. My friend actually gave these to me. They're in the House of Night series. I think that one day when I just want something kind of like unserious and like chaotic, I do want to eventually read the House of Night series, and she loves these novels. They're just like vampire books, I think, but I've never read them, but I'm interested to read them, so I think I'm going to keep these as well. Inkheart has such a special place in my heart. This is like one of the first book series I ever read and ever got into, and I actually want to do a reread of this really soon. I just fell in love with these books. They're definitely staying. I almost think I'm gonna put My Secret Unicorn books down here because this is kind of like my nostalgia shelf. Red Queen, another one I am gonna be unhauling. To Kill a Kingdom. My cat ate the entire end of it, if you can't see. He just chewed the F out of it one day. I'm very conflicted about this one because it was kind of a cute story and I did kind of enjoy it, but then at the same time, like, I don't really think about it hardly ever. So I don't know, I might keep it down here. Same with the Hunger Games, of course. Everyone went through their Hunger Games thing, so that's a nostalgia series. My Divergent books, same thing. I have Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant down here. I used to be obsessed with them, so they're gonna stay. I think I am gonna make the executive decision to put the My Secret Unicorn books down here. I think I'm also gonna put my Cryptids book down here. And maybe we'll put the Inkheart trilogy right next to the My Secret Unicorn ones. Like, I was pretty young reading both of these. Then I have some space to fill up some stuff if need be. But we're gonna switch over to the romance section now. I think the fantasy section is all good for the moment. So as I said, that whole top shelf, which I don't think you guys can even see it, but that whole Elsie Silver cowboy top shelf is gonna just stay as it is. This area, I'm gonna be unhauling a couple of books. I found this little guy in my shed. My favorite animal is polar bears. I thought I'd pull him out. So it happened one summer. I think I am going to unhaul this one. So here's where my Emily Henry fans are gonna be screaming. I am gonna unhaul Book Lovers and Beach Read. And the only reason why I'm not unhauling Happy Place yet is because I haven't read that one. The Unhoneymooners I'm also going to get rid of. The Love Hypothesis I'm going to keep because I did really like that book. Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. I've never read this. I've heard it's kind of a mafia romance, which is just not something I've really been into. So I'm going to keep it for now. Same with Twisted Love. I have not read this series at all, and I've heard very mixed reviews about it. And eventually I am gonna read it, so I'm gonna put it here. We'll see. I might unhaul that at some point. Same with Things We Never Got Over. I've tried to read this book so many times, and not that it's not good, it's just other things are higher on my priority list, so I end up scrapping it. So we're gonna keep it. The Simple Wild series is definitely not going anywhere. Actually, maybe I'll put the Emily Henry books up here, since there's only 2 of them now. Maybe we'll do that. My off-campus series is not going anywhere. So off-campus books, and then we have the Briar U books underneath, and then we have The Graham Effect, which is just book 1 of the new series with the children of the off-campus series, and all I want to read is just that first book. I have not read a single book after that, and I don't think I want to. My Ice Planet books, I love the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I need to add more to my books there. Try to throw these back up there. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, this is looking a lot better. I like that, you know, this is looking a lot more cohesive for me. These 2 books by Candy Steiner are gonna go away. I'm gonna keep my Lauren Asher books for now. I like the fine print terms and conditions and final offer. I definitely am gonna keep those no matter what. The verdict's still up in the air for Dirty Air series. Eventually I need to read Wrecked and Redeemed, and then I will make the decision of whether, you know, I want to get rid of these books or not. Also, a hesitancy with getting rid of these books is they are the indie published version, and I kind of like these versions better. The Summer I Turned Pretty series. We're offloading these. 50 Shades of Grey. Probably gonna put it down on this bottom shelf down here, but I am gonna keep it. Penelope Douglas. We are gonna keep Credence. I really enjoyed this book. Birthday Girl I bought. I have not read this yet, but we are gonna keep it because I did like Credence, so I feel like Birthday Girl I might like as well. This is like a copy of one of the books I wrote when I was like really young. Literally, I even published like a little blurb on the back, and like Wattpad users praise the surfer's heart. Like I even did like a whole like blurb section of like people commenting on my book and stuff. Of course I'm gonna keep this because this is like my copy for forever of my first ever like novel. But just so you know what that is. Me Before You and After You. I've never actually read these books, but I've watched the movie and I really liked the movie, so I'm gonna keep these. The Penelope Douglas, the series Corrupt. I'm gonna keep these books for now, but I've never read them. So maybe this fall, maybe I'll finally get around to starting them. I don't really know. I also have the, you know, Mind series. This is supposed to be really good. Have not read it. yet, but we're not gonna get rid of it. We have the indie published version of Credence. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. There's a lot of books down here that are like self-help books that I've just kind of like thrown down here. All my writing books I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep this one too, Between Two Worlds, Tyler Henry. I really like Tyler Henry. I actually just saw him last year with my sister. The Bro Code. This was a Wattpad book that I read back in the day and I was obsessed with, and then it got picked up and published. So I'm definitely gonna keep that. The Unlikely Hero of Room 13B is a book I had to read in college and I really enjoyed it, so I'm gonna keep that one. Summer of Sloan I read when I was maybe in high school or college, I can't really remember. I might just keep it just for nostalgic purposes. Even in Paradise, I'm gonna unhaul this book. Before We Were Innocent, I think this got gifted to me. I don't know, this kind of almost sounds interesting, but I think I'm gonna unhaul it because it's just not something that I would read at this current moment. Looking for Alaska. Even though I did enjoy that book, I just don't think I'd ever pick it up again, and I really didn't care about it that much to have it on my bookshelf. Haddock's Double Identity. I'm gonna keep this definitely on my bottom here because this is a nostalgic book. I remember reading this in elementary school or something, so I'd like to one day reread that. Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. I also am gonna keep. This is actually a signed copy as well. My after books, I'm gonna unhaul these. 1989, I think I'm gonna make the executive decision to unhaul this. Serpent in the Wings of Night and The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I am going to unhaul these. The Book Thief I do have plans on reading eventually at some point in my life. This is all just Twilight books, but they have different covers. So eventually when I get a bigger bookshelf, like, you know, get my own place, get a bigger bookshelf and stuff, I'd like to display that with my other Twilight books, but for now they're just gonna kind of sit down here. I think maybe that's fine for now. Maybe we can have like some open space, you know? I'm gonna obviously be getting more books, so yeah, I think this is good. We've made some space! This is so exciting. We've really made some good space here, and we have unhauled so many books. We got our piles here. These are bigger than what I thought I was gonna get rid of, so that's really good. This is gonna clear up a lot of space on my bookshelf. I feel like it doesn't look as cluttered. Some of these I might try to sell on Panko Books, but otherwise I think I am just going to take these to Value Village or something like that and just donate them. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully it inspired you to maybe clean up your shelf or unhaul some unnecessary books that you wanted to get rid of. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.